Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So we're here today to discuss Marines using social media to share intimate photographs of female service members and veterans without their consent. And it seems like every time we shut down one of these websites that a new one pops up. General Neller, I appreciated your strongly worded message last week, but we've already seen that at least one new website seems to have appeared in defiance of your guidance. We can keep playing digital whack-a-mole, but we'll keep losing until we have better tools to prosecute those who are responsible. So I want to go back to a question about the Uniform Code of Military Justice, but I want to ask it from a different perspective. General Neller, it's my understanding that if the original photo was taken consensually, the UCMJ may not allow for the strictest penalties under Article 120C, even if it was subsequently shared without consent. Is that accurate?
Senator, my understanding is, as the Sergeant Major was discussing, if you're on a public-facing web page and you post a picture, that in itself can be construed as consent, and if someone else takes that picture, that there is no criminal action.
Well, and I just want to get this.
I'm not saying I agree with that, but that's an interpretation.
So let me ask this question. Many states have implemented laws that make so-called revenge pornography a criminal offense. Do you believe that we need a change like that to the UCMJ?
I think that would be helpful in the accountability process. But again, I'm not saying that not all these pictures, some of these pictures of these women where they were fully clothed, and it's the commentary and all that stuff, and that's where you get into difficulty.
But
yes,
part of
I
what
do
we're also
agree. I
talking
do
about
agree.
Are photographs that were taken consensually and then someone else posted them, or they were posted in a different context and then forwarded.
That's correct.
I know you are committed to pursuing this, but if we're going to shut down this conduct, then you ought to have every possible legal tool at your disposal. Now, I want to ask you a second question about this. Every Marine Corps base maintains a list of places that are off limits for service members. In 2013, one of your predecessors, General Amos, told Congress that the Marines were examining whether you could legally make certain websites off limits in the same way. You can't visit there any more than you can go into town and visit these particular places. What was the result of that assessment? And do you need additional authorities to be able to do that?
Senator, I'm not aware, and I'll take that for the record, and we can maybe my SJA can talk to you about that. But I'm not aware that we ever, because of right of free speech and other things, ever placed a website off limits. Well, we can, on a government computer, we block certain websites, but when someone is on their individual device, I'm not aware that we said the following websites are off limits, and to frequent these sites, if we were even able to determine if the Marine had, that you would be a violation of a lawful order.
I think this may be something that may be worth exploring, again, so that you have the maximum number of tools available to you to stop this behavior. I have one more that I want to ask, and that is, General Neller, you're not the first commandant to attempt to address this issue, and in all due respect, it doesn't seem to be working. And I think it's because these social media scandals are symptoms of a much larger problem. It happens in the barracks, and it happens in the field, and it starts as early as basic training. Are you willing to reconsider the role that Marine recruit training plays in this and reevaluating the Marine Corps' policy of gender segregation at basic training?
Senator, we're taking a very long look at how we do recruit training right now. I would not couch our recruit training as segregated, and I'd at this time invite you down to see how we do what we do.
We're not separating men and women anymore in the Marines?
All recruits and all the services live separately because they live in open squad bays. And our training is done by platoons, men and women in platoons. A good portion of the training as we do it now at Parris Island, where all our women get trained, they do things with male recruits. The swimming tank, the rifle range, the crucible, the field training, even now, their final fitness exams. So to say that we're segregated, I don't believe is a fair statement, but we do it differently than everybody else. That said, we are looking.
Can I just clarify, General, because I just want to make sure I understand, and I'm past my time here, but I want to make sure I understand. Are you saying no activities are segregated other than sleeping, or are you saying that some activities are segregated and some are not?
Some are and some are not.
Now,
And we are
and
looking
the question I'm asking is whether you want to take another look at
We are looking at
that.
the entire way that we do recruit training, from training, how we educate and train our drill instructors, to how we do the entire program of instruction for men and women.
Thank you, General. You know, service members who disrespect their fellow service members dishonor the service and dishonor our nation. And we've got to put an end to this conduct so none of us is here again.